Predictions for the year 2026. Much on the negative points for the year practically happens to us. It's not anybody's, we are not being pulled into it by consciously geopolitics technology. Okay, YouTubers, I know, AI technology and definitely the entertainment industry. $1 trillion education sector. Hello everyone, welcome back to another topic discussions. So today's topic is predictions for the year 2026. Initially I had planned not to do the predictions for the year 2026, but I received a couple of requests from my personal contacts and friends asking me what are my thoughts for the year 2026. So after their suggestions and our chats, I decided let me do this for the year as well. So if I had planned earlier, I would have included much more content and I would have put out this video much earlier in the month, but since I had decided not to do it initially, so I could gather only very limited information and push it till the end of the month. So I do hope that if this content is very compact, you can always ask me to include much more content with regard to the predictions for the year 2026, and I will be more than happy to include them. So please do comment as to if you would like to know more about any specific topic that is being discussed in this video. Okay, and another point which I have usually discussed or in my previous videos which are similar to this kind of prediction videos, I always say that I will not be discussing much on the negative points for the year, for this year or any other year, usually because it's a human nature or tendency to cling on to the negative content or the negative news. It automatically happens to us. It's not anybody's, we are not being pulled into it by consciously, but we are by nature, we are pulled into the negative content or the negative news largely, and it's a tendency of humans to dwell in that negative mindset. If we hear any negative news, even for at least for a few minutes, or some people dwell in it for a longer period, then that is required. So I'll not be including much negative content or negative news with regard to the predictions for the year 2026. I'll be just focusing on points which I believe need to be discussed and which need to be spread or which people should hear. So those are the kind of points that I'll be discussing as part of this video. Okay, so let's get into this topic. So for the year 2026, definitely we'll be starting with geopolitics. There's a lot of uncertainty going all over the world in terms of geopolitics. So this year, the geopolitics is not going to focus only on the border issues or security, but it's going to spread across to the economics, trade relations, and a lot of decisions with regard to market expansions and businesses are going to be tied down to geopolitics. At least for half of this year, geopolitics is going to be the biggest influence of the year. All of our trade decisions or investment decisions are going to be, and the trade dynamics of different markets are going to be dependent upon the geopolitical situations happening around us and all over the world. Okay, so another very important point that is going to reshape or influence the year 2026 is definitely technology. Okay, technology is going to really come into our homes in a big way. There is going to be a lot of advancements, a lot of invention, innovations, and implementation of the technological advancement even in our daily lives. Even if we look at the EV cars are going to see a specific growth compared to the last decade. It's going to see a huge surge or influx in terms of technological advancement. Okay, so this is one specific industry that is going to see a lot of growth for the year. Along with a lot of discussions is going on with regard to the boom that is going to happen to the metals, especially silver and gold. Okay, may I remind you that these points which are being discussed here are in terms of the research that I have conducted, also along with the discussions I have made with the experts and the expert analysis. So along with my points, there's going to be a combination of expert advice and research knowledge. Okay, with regard to the advice received from the experts, that is, there's going to be a lot of growth in the silver and gold arena. So there's a lot of advice from the experts too, or there's a lot of buzz happening around the metals of silver and gold that it is going to be a big influence for the year. So now coming to the point of YouTubers, I know I myself have discussed that the social media industry is going to see a lot of growth in the coming years. I believe it has already reached the $1 trillion mark, or it is going to be in the $1 trillion mark. I'm not very sure. So the YouTubers are going to see a lot of competition, lot of changes, lot of technological advancement. Like any other field, there's going to be a lot of technological advancements for the YouTubers as well. This AI is going to be a major player for the YouTubers economy. A lot of changes, a lot of content is going to be influenced by AI technology and technological advancements. Monetization is going to change in a various manners. Not only the ad placements, there's going to be a lot of other impacts that is going to happen to the YouTuber sector. Big change in terms of more tools, more opportunities and more competitions for the YouTubers. Monetization is going to be changing, that is beyond ads, brand deals, sponsorships, affiliate incomes and product links, okay, along with in-app shopping features. Longer videos with dynamic ad placements are going to be a major income source for the YouTubers for the year 2026. So quality, engagement and meaningful content is of course going to rule the year. And as I mentioned, AI is going to play a major role in influencing the specific sector. The next industry which is going to see a lot of influence for this year is definitely the entertainment industry. The entertainment all around the world is going to see a lot of, again, involvement of technology. With the technological involvement, there is going to be a lot of profit increase, cost cutting and a lot of advancements in terms of the creativity and product placements, and different kinds of ideas are going to be implemented in terms of broadcasting and distribution. The 2026 is going to be a very positive year for the entertainment industry, especially with the especially the entertainment industry going to see a lot of growth, technological shifts, new business models and evolving consumer habits. The OTT platform is really going to exist and grow exponentially, along with ad revenues, okay? Ad revenues of the entertainment economy is to hit $1 trillion in the year 2026. It's also going to be in the format of TV, video, digital and streaming business models, okay? AI and tech, artificial intelligence and technology is going to really transform the entertainment industry, not only the digital but the theatrical formats as well. In India, it is projected to become the 5th largest TV advertising market in the world by the year 2026. That is, India is predicted to be the 5th largest market for TV advertising. Okay, that's huge. So innovation, again in India, innovative style of distribution is being planned by the distributors, especially not only for the digital formats but for the theatrical formats as well. Like what they are testing to include, Indian creators and producers are trying to bring in approaches like innovative approaches for distribution, especially like the pay-per-view kind of formats are going to be introduced. Again, not only for the digital but also for the theatrical formats, okay? So these are the predictions for the year for the entertainment industry for this year. So now let's look at another interesting industry which is going to see a lot of technological advancement and a lot of changes for this year. That is definitely the education sector. So let's see what are the changes that is going to happen in the education sector. Education industry is predicted to be again going to a format of hybrid learning, with the technology trying to really renovate the education sector. There's going to be a combination of offline and online classes, and children are going to get exposed to an international arena of learning rather than the traditional format of where the students focus generally in the local setup or the country where they are located. The focus was given to the curriculum of the specific country or the knowledge to be acquired from the specific country. This year, it's going to be much more advancement in terms of the international learning concepts. Children are going to be more focused on skill development rather than just focusing on the specific syllabus. Children are also going to be focusing on wherein they can acquire a lot of certificates in format of skill developments, the tiny little skills that they can acquire maybe in a course that is a 6 months course or a 1 year course where they can acquire a skill. Children are going to be a little more focused on that kind of sectors or that kind of definitions of education for this year. So that is as per the predictions what we can see for the education sector. Now let me see if there is any point that I need to include, and I'll be covering it up now. Yeah, as I mentioned, hybrid learning environments are going to happen. EdTech market is really going to be growing. That is education and technology combination. As I mentioned, the online and the offline combination of studies is going to grow exponentially for this year. And there's going to be a shift to skills mastering, like micro credentials, like small kind of courses. Children are going to be, the parents are going to focus the children to be sent for micro credentials where they can acquire specific skills and acquire credentials accordingly. Small courses which can help them in their skill development. Okay. Now shifting to international education strategies, as I mentioned, rather than focusing on a specific country syllabus, the schools and education institutions are going to implement international education strategies into the education sector, like focusing on the international innovation, what is going on internationally, what are the students going to focus on for a long-term growth, what are the requirements required for the education sector currently. These are all the features which are going to be a focus for this year, especially for the education sector. Now let's look at which are the industries that are going to undergo a lot of influence for this year. Okay, they are going to be definitely the IT. IT is for this year, if we are going to see amazing growth or skyrocketing growth for this year, we are going to see is for the IT and the technological field. Okay, definitely with the AI, we are going to see a lot of growth and improvements seen for this specific sector. Next is definitely the financial services is going to impact the markets in a huge manner. Other than that, the energy sector, healthcare sector, transport, agriculture and food, construction, and of course education and media are all the sectors that we are going to see a lot of improvement, going to influence the worldwide markets for this year. So as I mentioned, if you would like to know more about this year and what are the predictions for the year in terms of specific market or specific industry or specific sectors, please do put in your message or as in comments, and I can study, research and share more knowledge with regard to specific points that you would like me to discuss. And as always, thank you for spending your time here. Until we meet next time, bye-bye. Thank you.